Hello and welcome. You've joined CJ Gilbert with Ask A Web Geek. We're coming to you live from the web cave in the web jungle, and you've joined us for episode 16 of Ask A Web Geek. We've got a great show for you today. It might be shorter than normal, but it's going to be packed with something really important that I want to tell you about. Actually, something I want to warn you about that I see happening with a lot of people these days. So that's what we're going to go into in just a few minutes. But first, let me welcome you to the show. My name is CJ Gilbert. I'll be your host through the wilds of the internet jungle. And Ask A Web Geek is a show where we answer any of your questions. We invite you to ask us questions about websites, marketing, email campaigns, social media. What are you struggling with in your business? There's tools and technologies available to make things easier, to make your life easier, your business easier. But you may not know what those things are, or you may not know how to use those tools that are available to you. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to bridge that gap between there's tools and technologies online that can help, and you're a busy business professional, and there's a gap between these two things. Let me be that gap for you. Let me be the bridge to help you learn the technology that's going to end up saving you time and money. And that's what we're here to do. So we invite you to join our Facebook group, Ask A Web Geek, and ask any questions you have about any of these topics. And we're going to be happy to answer your questions, both me live on the show as well as our community. Let me share with you a couple props I've got next to me. Here's my book, 5 Golden Keys to Sharpen Your Website. This is available on Amazon at 5keysbook.gilbertstudios.com. That's a shortcut link to take you right to the Amazon page. And I wrote this, I like to joke, accidentally, after talking with so many business owners and finding out that they know they needed a website for their business, but they didn't really know what to do with it. And that's when I started writing down my thoughts about what a website should really do. It should be a tool for your business, and I ended up writing that book. And that content has now become what I talk about. I'm going to be speaking today at the Solana Beach Chamber of Commerce, sharing with them how their website is a tool. And if you think of it that way, it can improve your business in several areas and ultimately help you save time, save money, and serve your clients better, faster, and easier. Our featured animal of the week is this crocodile, alligator. I don't really know the difference in this moment, and I don't know if this plastic toy really, represents the specific anatomical differences between the two. But whether this is a crocodile or an alligator, this is our featured animal for the week. He's been in a previous show, but the reason that I wanted to bring him in today is to talk to you about sometimes animals in our web jungle look scary, but they're actually nice. Sometimes it's the exact opposite way around, and sometimes things look scary and they are scary. Today, I want to warn you about something you could come across in the internet jungle and tell you to be cautious about it. And so our alligator here is a reminder. So last week we had our friend the elephant on the show. Ellie the elephant reminds us to take one step at a time. Maybe I represent the elephant for you, and together we're going to plow through this jungle and get where we need to go. But we're going to be on our lookout for other creatures and other situations that could be getting in your way and creating a problem, an obstacle, a challenge, something that's trying to get in your business and take your money. And we're going to be talking about one of those things on today's show. So I'm going to set the croc down over here, and we're going to jump right into our slides. So let's do it. Ask a Web Geek. My name is CJ Gilbert. I'll be your web safari guide as we go through the wilds of the internet. We all have to use the internet for our business and for social media and for all these pieces that we have to use in our day-to-day business. But I'm here to help you. And what would you like to ask a web geek? What questions do you have? It could be about any of those things we were talking about. And I want to invite you to join our Facebook group and ask me any questions that you have so we can help you move forward in your business. We teach that your website is your number one tool. Your website is your number one tool to grow and support your business. And if you think of it that way, it can help you attract more customers, make more sales, enhance your customer service, increase your efficiency, ultimately save time, save money, serve your clients better, faster, and easier. I want to take a minute and congratulate you. You are in the elite top 5% of the global population that's working on your business and working to improve your life and yourself and your business and your results. And I want to say congratulations. If you're right-handed, take your right hand. If you're left-handed, take your left hand, and pat yourself on the back right now and say, good job, great job for being on the call here today. I know that you are improving yourself and you're working on yourself, and I want to acknowledge your efforts to do so. Thank you for being here. Thank you for you. Thank yourself for working on yourself and your business. Glad that you're joining us here this morning. I also want to say thank you to anyone that has served in our military. This last week we celebrated Veterans Day. It's November 13th today, Wednesday, and just 2 days ago, the 11th, it was Veterans Day, and we thank our military for all the service that they provide for us. And so I wanted to thank you in today's show. Just give a really quick shout to our veterans, anyone that's fought in our military, anyone that's our first responders that work I'm got too many words trying to come out of my mouth here. They sacrifice themselves, their families, they put their life on the line for our freedom. And so I just want to say thank you for what you do and what you've done. Ask a Web Geek is a weekly show. Please join our Facebook group, Ask a Web Geek, and that's where you can ask questions. We've got over 100 people in our group so far and growing. Invite a friend. Together you can join, ask questions, and we'll help you in any way we can. Also, subscribe on YouTube and watch the show later there. The full unedited, uncut show is in Facebook. That's where we do our live tapings. And then the official show goes to YouTube and also becomes a podcast. We invite you to follow along on Twitter at AskAWebGeek. That's me behind the AskAWebGeek Twitter. That's another great place that you can ask any questions. In fact, if you're a podcast listener and you subscribe to the podcast, maybe on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, I also invite you to tweet along with the show. If you're listening to the show later, pop open Twitter and just send me a couple messages as you're listening. Let me know what we're talking about, what made you laugh, what golden nuggets you got, what great ideas you got, and what follow-up questions that you have. I would love to hear your feedback. I would love to hear how you're enjoying the show, what's helping you, as well as hear your additional questions and your follow-up questions. I know that every topic we talk about leads to a dozen more questions. So please don't hesitate to ask any of those questions. We'll make sure to answer all of them on an upcoming show. All of these links can be found at our website, AskAWebGeek.com, which looks very much like this. AskAWebGeek.com, click that green button, join our Facebook group, click that blue button, and subscribe on YouTube. And we'll be very glad to have you. Disclaimer, you must be willing to have your question or issue addressed in a public forum. This is not legal or professional advice. You accept responsibility for everything. I'm going to do my best to give you the true information. I'm going to share my opinion. I'm a web geek. I'm not an attorney or a CPA. You need to have those professionals in your life, those certified business professionals when you're making changes to your business. I'm a web geek. I know a lot about the internet and computers and technology. I've been playing with them all my life. And I'm here to help you with those pieces. But by all means, please consult a professional before you make any big changes to your business. Also, if you ask any questions, know that I'm going to answer your question here live on the show, and I want to make sure that it's okay that we do that and we have your permission to do that. So if you need to protect password fields or there's some part of your website or other tool that we're going to be looking at that you would not like to have on the show, I've got ways around that. We've got windows that we can hide. I've got other screens we can do things on and then pull it into frame when we're ready. So just let me know if you have any of those concerns around your question. Otherwise, we're going to show everything that we're doing so that everybody can see exactly how the steps are done and what website to access and whatever else we're doing depending on the question. So keep those pieces in mind. This is a public show, publicly available, but we do have ways to hide some information if we need to. Do consult with your business professionals before you make any changes, and ultimately, you accept responsibility for everything in your business, including your own success. Hi, Sandra. Glad that you've joined us this morning. Glad you're on the call with us today. Please ask any questions you have, and we invite your comments as we go along. Who am I? I'm CJ Gilbert. I'm a web geek. I've been a web developer for over 20 years, and now I'm a speaker and author. I build websites and I help people with their websites every day, but I'm also out there teaching people how to think of their website like a tool so that they can make more money, save more time, and serve their clients better, faster, and easier. My business is serving your business. I believe that the whole reason that I'm here is to help you in your business. My message is to help you share your message. I want you to do more business. I want you to do better business. I believe that a website and these tools that are available are not here to take more of your time, but are here to help you save time. They can increase your efficiency. They can help you do more. And that's what we talk about in this show, how to do more business and how to do better business. Be on the lookout for your golden nugget. Each time you watch the show or you read my book or you watch one of the videos, or even if you buy me a cup of coffee and we just sit down and chat, our brains are so interesting. You're going to hear something different. You're going to learn something new each time you watch a show, even if you watch the same show over and over. So it's my intention that if you can be live on the show, I'd love that. Watch it later on YouTube. You'll see or hear something else. And then listen as a podcast later. You'll hear something else that you missed the first time. It's just the way our minds work. Our brains filter things out that they don't think are important to us in this moment, which means come back in a week and listen to it again. You're going to hear something different. Your brain's going to let something else through that's important for you next week that you didn't think was important for you this week. So it's all available in all of those channels I went over, so you can consume it over and over again and get every little piece out of it that you can. I recommend you grab some paper, you draw a line down the middle, or just to the right of the middle is how I do it. And then in that left column, you can label it notes, and in the right side, actions. So as we're going through the material in our class and answering questions and going through how things are done, you can take that kind of stream of consciousness notes on the left side. But there's going to be some steps, some action steps that you want to move quickly on. So make sure to put those in the right column so you can find those later, and those will be the pieces that you really move on quickly. And then make sure to star your golden nuggets. Ask a Web Geek, sponsored by a few people, places, and things this week. Number one, plan your best year yet. I released a video. It was an excerpt from last week's show. If you didn't watch last week's show, do it. It was amazing. And I talked about this upcoming class with Eric Lofholm. He's one of my mentors, and he offers a free class every year on how to plan for your upcoming year. Plan your best year yet. This is how to create your 2020 sales and marketing plan. One of the best things you can do to get ready for 2020 is to create a written sales and marketing plan. And Eric offers a free class on exactly how to do that and what steps are involved. And you can learn more at this special link, 2020plan.gilbertstudios.com. Again, that's 2020plan, P-L-A-N, .gilbertstudios.com. That'll take you right over to this landing page where you can pop in your name and email, and he'll send you all the details. The classes are live December 5th, 10th, and 12th at 4 p.m. Pacific, but they're all recorded. So even if you can't be there during the live call, sign up anyway so you can watch all the recordings and you can get your marketing plan ready before the new year. Even if you're watching this next year, it's months later, still go sign up. It will still be available. You can still put your plan into place. It's never too late. If you're hearing me say this right now, pause the recording and sign up at 2020plan.gilbertstudios.com and then come back. We'll wait. They'll pause so we can just move on. But do it. Sign up. It's a great class. I do it every year. It's really important. And then, if you're not already, make sure that you're on his daily call. And I've got another link for you, amcall.gilbertstudios.com. He does a 15-minute free podcast conference call every morning, 7:45 a.m. I was on the live call with him this morning as he talked about, he gives us success principles. It's 15 minutes. It's such a small sliver of your day, but it does a tremendous amount of good to put you in the right mindset for success. He goes over these principles. He was talking about them again. These are principles that he talks about over and over again that they get drilled into your head and that I rely on as my day goes forward. One of the things he was talking about this morning is do the next right thing. That is probably one of the most valuable pieces of information I've gotten from the call. Do the next right thing. When I'm in a state of overwhelm and I've got so many things I need to do and my brain's like, what do I need to do? Do the next right thing. And that helps me cut through the clutter and the distraction and pick out what's the next right thing to do. Do the next right thing. That's something that I learned from Eric's call, and I want you to get all those golden nuggets too. So you can go sign up at amcall.gilbertstudios.com. That's AM like it's 9:30 a.m. amcall.gilbertstudios.com. Again, it's live, but it's also recorded. So even if you can't make it to that call in the morning, that's no problem. It's released every day, so you can watch it on you can watch it on YouTube. You can listen off of the browser. There's a website. So I listen to that call every single day, live or the recording, and I encourage you to do that too. amcall.gilbertstudios.com. I'm going to go back a slide, give you those links one more time. Sign up for the planning call, 2020plan.gilbertstudios.com. Sign up for the daily at amcall.gilbertstudios.com. And then finally, if you haven't heard already, do make sure to check out my free video workshop. That book I was showing you earlier, I took the main principles out of that book and put them into this kind of mini workshop. It's 7 videos. They are less than 10 minutes a piece. You can take it one bite at a time as we look at improving each aspect of your website to boost your sales, to boost your customer service, make your website work for you, and learn more at mywebsitesafari.com. This is a free class. It's very short. It's bite-sized. Take one bite at a time and improve your website, which improves your whole business. mywebsitesafari.com. All right, we're going to jump into the material. Buckle up, stay hydrated. I've got a really interesting topic to share with you today, and I'm going to take a sip of coffee and we're going to go into it. How we doing, studio audience? Any comments or questions before I move on? Good to see you guys down here. Glad that you're with me live on the call. We record this, by the way. Our live taping takes place inside the Facebook group. So please come to our Facebook group, AskAWebGeek.com. We'll get you there, link to our Facebook group, or you can search Facebook, Ask a Web Geek. Join our group and ask any questions you have, and then you can be on the live taping every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, and we would ask that you do that. We'd love to have you as part of our community. You can watch all the shows there, you can ask all the questions there, and you can participate in our live taping. Okay. Featured topic of the week. Today I want to warn you about something. Let me go over our last couple shows here really quick. These are the last 4 shows we did. Episode 12, we talked about how to do a social media blast. Episode 13, I was referring to earlier, one of the greatest shows I've ever done. We laid out a full SEO strategy. In episode 14, we talked about the 7 different types of websites. I'm highlighting that on this slide because we're going to talk today about domain names and just a teeny bit about website hosting. I talked about website hosting in episode 14. So if you haven't seen that yet and you want to learn more after today's topic about how that relates to website hosting, I encourage you to go back and check out episode 14, where I go over the different kinds of websites and explain a little bit more about website hosting. And then last week, episode 15, I provided an introduction to social media, how to get started, and the first couple steps in getting started in social media. But today, I have a caution for you. I have a caution and something I want to go over with you. I want to talk to you about domain names, and I want you to be aware of how they work and what you need to be on the lookout for, because there is somewhat of a scam going on right now, and it's not exactly a scam. It's deceptive advertising is what it is. I don't like the way that these companies are approaching you. And let me tell you what's happening. Let me tell you the story. My clients, I've seen this several times. Every now and then a client will send me a letter that they've gotten in the mail. And they'll say, is this legitimate? Is this a thing I need to pay attention to? What is this? What am I looking at? And I got one of those letters this last week, and I wanted to share it with you. So here's what the letter looks like, and I'm gonna pull it up here on my big slide in a second. This is what the letter looks like, and I got this in the mail, and it's got all my information on it, so I can show this one to you because it's got my domain and my name here on it. So look at this. Look at this letter, and at the very top it says domain name expiration notice. And there's a bunch of companies that do this. So if you get one of these in the mail, it may not be from the same company. This one is from Internet Domain Name Services. Doesn't that sound legitimate? Doesn't that sound like something that you should be really concerned about? And it's called domain name expiration notice. And what they're doing is they're preying off of people's pure ignorance. And I don't use ignorance in a derogatory sense. I just mean it like you don't know something. If you don't know something, you're ignorant of that fact. That doesn't mean that you're a stupid person. It just means you don't have that piece of information. So that's what I'm here to do, is share with you some information. If you get one of these in the mail, it may not be a legitimate notice from your domain name registrar that you need to pay attention to. So that's kind of the whole point. End of show. Have a great week. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to go over a little bit more. But the point is, you may get something very official in the mail that looks like you need to pay this company money, but it's a scam. See, it's not exactly a scam. It's deceptive advertising. This is an advertisement, but it looks like an invoice that you need to pay attention to. And that's why I don't like it. It's sent to you as an invoice, but it's an advertisement. And I'm going to go over, I'm going to share what that looks like here in a second. And I'm going to go over some ideas with you on how to not be fooled. Okay, let me show you what this letter looks like. I'm going to come back to these slides in a second, but let me just give you a close-up view. Here's what the letter looks like. It's from Internet Domain Name Services. It's titled Domain Name Expiration Notice. And the fact is, I bet most people won't read this. They're not going to read all the words. And even if they do, they're not going to understand all the words. So they're going to be deceived. Now, I want to direct your attention. You can't see my cursor on the screen like this. So I'll do it this way. Okay, so I'm holding the letter here in my hand. And in this third paragraph down, it's got a single line that's bolded. It says, "This notice is not a bill." This notice is not a bill. They have to put this kind of language somewhere. There's going to be, if you get one of these in the mail, look it over, because there's going to be something on it that says, this is not an invoice. This is not a bill. This is an advertisement. Something like that. That's the only way that it becomes legal for them to do this. They have a single sentence somewhere that says, this one says, "This notice is not a bill. It is rather an easy means of payment should you decide to switch your domain name registration." So what's happening here, folks, is these companies are looking to steal your domain name registration. They want you to pay them to register your domain name instead of the company you're already using. So they're going to send you what looks like a bill to renew your domain name, but if you fill this out and send it to them, they're going to charge you, number one, probably more than you're already paying. Number two, they will then be the registration company for your domain name, and I don't know if I feel comfortable with you doing that, especially if they're using these deceptive practices. I think this is deceptive, and I don't like it because people don't know where their domain name is, and they could easily be fooled by this official looking, oh, it's an invoice. Oh, my domain name is up for registration. I better pay this company to take care of that for me. This drives me crazy. because it's deceptive. So here's a couple facts. I want to give you a couple facts today. Here's the second page of what this looks like, by the way. I'll let me bring that back to you here so you can see. Here's what the bottom of the page looks like. So as you can see, they're offering to renew this domain name for me. They're going to charge me $50 for 1 year, or I can get 2 years and pay $90 and supposedly save $10. Or if I want to pay for 5 years, I will supposedly save $60. And they also are recommending that I purchase these other domain names to protect my domain name from being duplicated. So as you can see here, this is a very official looking notice. This looks like an invoice, and it's deceptive because you do have to have a domain name. You do have to have it registered. You do need to renew it yearly. And to top it off, this is nearly public information, which means this company can look it up. They can see when your domain name is officially up for renewal, and then they're going to send you this letter a month to 2 months ahead of time letting you know your domain name is coming up for renewal. You can pay us to renew it. Now, that's true. Your domain name probably is coming up for renewal. And what is also true, you could pay them to renew it for you, but you'll be transferring your domain name to them, and you don't necessarily want to do that. So here's a couple facts around this. Domain names renew yearly, but you should know who your registration company is. You should know your registrar. Okay, there's a couple big names. Maybe you have GoDaddy, HostGator, Network Solutions. There's a bunch of companies out there that you could have your domain name registered with and still get this kind of a letter in the mail. Hey, your domain name's coming up for renewal. Pay us $50 a year. So you don't need to be fooled by that. And I'm going to give you a couple tips, and I'm also just going to offer myself to you as a resource. So I don't want you to be fooled by these scam letters, this deceptive advertisement, and I want you to know who your registrar is. You may not know who your registration company is, and if you don't, I want to offer you a resource of how you can find out. So look at my slide here, centralops.net. That is one of the resources you can use to look up your domain name and see where it's registered. Garrison is writing in the comments, I have received probably 8 over the past 10 years or so. Thanks for bringing light to this problematic advertising practice. Yeah, I don't like this. It drives me crazy. And my customers write me and say, I got this letter. What does this mean? Is this from you? No, it's not. They're trying to steal your business, and I won't stand for it. Let me show you this website called centralops.net. I'm going to take you to, so many windows. Okay, let me take you to my browser over here. Where's my browser? Here it is. Here's the Ask A Web Geek website at AskAWebGeek.com. Okay, so here's one of the tools I'm recommending, centralops, centralops.net. So you can go here. You can pop in any domain name you want to. I'm just going to use my own for fun. GilbertStudios.com and hit go. You see, domain names are publicly registered. So anybody can look at this information. I probably shouldn't be sharing this right on a video, but I'm gonna because I'm crazy that way. So here it shows when the domain name renews, when it expires, how long it's been registered, and who the company is that owns it. Now, if you are not using a privacy protection option with your registrar, your name and address could be published right here. So that's my recommendation for you. First, right off the gate, come to this website, centralops.net, put in your domain name and just see what comes up. See what address is being published for yourself. If you're a home-based business, it might be your home. And you didn't even know that you were publishing that information online and that it's so publicly available. So check it out. You can also see a whole bunch of other things where the name servers and mail servers are sent to. That information is helpful for me if I'm helping you with your domain name. But the bottom line is it's publicly available. People can get to this information right here. And so you should be aware of what is being shown for your domain name. So go ahead and come to centralops.net, use what they call their domain dossier. This site is totally okay for you to use, and pop in your domain name and just see what's coming up there. Okay, I will pause for questions if our studio audience has any questions. But first of all, know who your registrar is. That way, when you get one of these letters in the mail from the Internet Domain Name Service, what a great name for a company, by the way, right? I think I'm going to open a company and call it Your Domain Name Registrar. No, really, we really are. We really are your domain registrar. That's my new company, guys. And I'm going to send these letters out to everyone. No, I'm not. I hate that. I hate this practice. That's why I'm telling you about it today. It's deceptive and I don't like it. So here's the facts. Domain names renew every year. You can register them for a couple years in advance. You should do that, but I don't want you to register it for 2 to 3 years and then forget how it works, and then in 2 to 3 years get one of these letters and switch your company over to there. So don't be fooled. Know where you're registered now. Know what information is being shown. Address, phone number, email address. Those things could be publicly published with your domain name information. So that's what I wanted to share with you, and I've got a couple other things to share with you, but that's the bottom line. These letters are going out. They look very official, but it is a deceptive advertisement. This company does not own your domain name. This company has nothing to do with my domain name, but they want me to pay them $50 a year to renew it. That's why I'm bringing it to your attention. So make sure you know where your domain name is registered, and make sure you know what information you're putting out there with your domain name. Could be your home address, phone number, email address. You should know about that. What else do I want to share with you on this topic? I showed you this letter. Drives me crazy. You want to see me rant about something? This is it. Ah, gosh, I hate companies that do this to you. You're struggling through the jungle, and all of a sudden you get something like this, right? This crocodile came out of nowhere, and you may not even know it's a crocodile. It's trying to bite your leg. Drives me crazy. How do you feel about it, CJ? Well, you know what? I'm upset about it. So, but you know what? I'm glad that you're here with me this morning so we can talk about it. Hey, let me be your guide. If you don't know what to do, if you don't know where you're registered, then I want to invite you to allow me to be your guide in the internet of the domain name registration. So let me tell you how I do it. I offer domain name registration myself. If you would like me to take over the domain name registration for you so you don't have to worry about this, I would be happy to do that. It is a one-time fee of $25 for me to transfer the domain name into my care and custody and control, and then I will send you a bill every year after that for $20 a year. That includes the private registration. A few minutes ago, I was showing you my domain name, and I didn't have a too big of a concern to bring up my public domain name there because I know my address isn't being published with it. I'm using what they call a private or a privacy protection on my domain name. That's something that I include for all of my clients. So if this is something that could help you, it's $25 to transfer, and that includes an additional year of registration. So you're losing nothing. It's $25 to transfer it and buy it for another year. And then I'll send you a bill after that, $20 a year. You'll know the bill is going to come from me, CJ at gilbertstudios.com, and you can just plain ignore any other letter that you get in the mail. Would that be of value to you, to know that I'm taking care of it and to know how much it is, where it is, and when it renews? I would be happy to help you with that. Other services that are related to this, website hosting. Website hosting is a different animal than domain names, and that's why I referred you back to that episode 14, where we talked about the different kinds of websites, because I touched on website hosting there. So if you want to learn more about website hosting, I did go over that in episode 14. So I have website hosting available. I have multiple options, yearly to monthly options, depending on what works best for you. Once we've got a domain name and we've got your website hosting set up, we can do all kinds of things with your email address too. That can be routed in a bunch of different ways. We can use different software. That's a whole new can of worms. That's a whole new subject to talk about, is how to set up your email. Many, many options are available to fit your needs and your budget. That's a conversation we can have about what are your needs? What's the best way to set up your situation? Let me check my comments. Garrison mentions it may be good to set up your primary domains to auto-renew. That's a great point, Garrison. A lot of these companies will offer an auto-renew feature, so it just automatically bills your credit card every year that it comes through. You don't really need to worry about it in that way either. So that's a good option. That's a lot of things that are that most companies are offering. Again, I want to offer my own services to you to let me take care of that for you if that's a value, but either one works. As long as you know where your domain name is registered and you know what's being published, maybe you want that privacy feature. I've noticed that companies vary widely in how much they charge for these things. $15 to $20 feels about average, but then there's usually an upsell. Add another 5 to 10 for the privacy, add another whatever. Network Solutions for the longest time was charging $40 to $50 a domain name. So it really varies on the company that you're going, that you're with. I'm not slamming this company over here for charging $50 a year. I'm slamming them for sending what looks like an invoice when it's really an advertisement. I just want you to know where you're registered. I want you to know what you're getting, what's being published on the internet. I just want you to know. I just want you to be aware. So let me know if you have any questions about any of those pieces at all. Domain names, website hosting, email addresses. What questions do you still have that I can answer for you? I do encourage you to check out that website, Central Ops. Put your domain name in and see what pops up. That is the public record that it is bringing up to show you. Publicly available. Anybody can get to that information. So you should know what's there. Maybe it's your address. Maybe it's your phone number or email. And there's ways to change that. We can invoke that privacy option. So let me know if we can do that for you. It'd be $25 if you want me to take over your domain name for you. Then you know it's secure. You'll know where it is. And you won't have to worry about these weird letters. Does that make sense? Let me know if you have any questions about any of those pieces. Woo! I got kind of excited during that time. Let me take a sip of coffee over here. I get really excited when I talk about this stuff, guys. Really passionate about internet and websites and all this kind of stuff. Ask me a question and I'll be fired up about it. So you want to know how I feel about these letters people get? I love them. I don't love them. I hate them. I hate them because they're deceiving people. I hate deceptive business practices. That's something that you can always rely on from me is the truth. Garrison's commenting, having the privacy feature you are offering with your fee is huge. One company I looked at charged almost $100 for this added privacy feature. Prices vary. Yes, great point, Garrison. Another thing I'll throw out, just since we're talking about it, is the secure certificate. It used to be that you had to pay an additional $100 per year to add a security certificate on top of your website hosting, and a lot of companies are still offering that as another line item. Man, I just don't run my business like this. I just don't run it like it's so much for this, plus this, plus this, plus this, plus this. I don't do that. Plus thing. I feel that is deceptive, and I work with small business owners that are pinching pennies and they're concerned about where every dime is spent. They understand they need to invest money in certain pieces like website hosting and domain name, but they don't want to throw it away on stuff they don't need or go with a company that's charging them too much for something that they could get just as well, just as reliably, sometimes even better for less elsewhere. So thank you, Garrison. Yes, These are extra benefits that I offer my clients whenever possible. If I'm renewing your domain name for you, I'm going to give you that privacy feature for free. If I'm giving you your website hosting, I can now create and provide that security certificate for free. It's now part of my website hosting. I bumped up my website hosting cost like $20 a year to cover that certificate. Totally worth it. Totally worth it for every one of my customers. We can go over that in a future show too if you want to learn more about that security setting. Oh, I get excited about this stuff. Here's everything we've already gone over in a previous show. We already answered all of these questions. I'm not going to read this list to you. I have read it in a previous show, but all of the information is at our website, AskAWebGeek.com, if you want to find any shows about any of these topics. Also, we have ongoing conversations in our Facebook community. I just love that the show, it pretends to be me talking about stuff, but what it really is it's a whole group of people that's exchanging good information with each other. So we've got these conversations ongoing in our group. We're talking about customer relationship management tools, or CRMs. We're also looking for your ideas about project management tools. Would you please join our Facebook group and jump into any of these ongoing conversations? We would love to hear your thoughts and feedback about any of the tools that you might be using that could help our community. Also, do you have more answers and ideas for this one? Could you recommend some good books and resources on offline or inexpensive marketing techniques? What are relatively cheap things that business owners and independent professionals can do to gain greater exposure and reach in their local areas and beyond? If you have any ideas about any of those pieces, please join our Facebook group and jump in with those conversations. Thanks for your comment, Betty. Really appreciate your involvement today. That's no problem. Jump in and out. Never a problem. I was talking about that last week's show. Jump in when you can, drop your question, jump out, come back later. All the information is always here. What questions do you have? We invite you to join our Facebook group and ask me any questions you have about websites, marketing, hosting, domain names, a weird letter you got in the mail that looks like an invoice, but you're not really sure, and it actually turns out to be a deceptive advertising technique that will make some web geek you know rant for several minutes about it. Hey, if it's anything like that, join our Facebook group, Ask a Web Geek. Let me know what questions you have. How can I help you? How can we move you forward in your business this week? Something that you need to get started and can't, something that you started but you just can't seem to finish. What can it be? How can I help you? Please let me know. Ask a Web Geek this week sponsored by Eric Lofholm's year planning class. This is a free class he offers every December to plan your best year yet. You can learn about it at 2020plan.gilbertstudios.com. 2020plan.gilbertstudios.com. That is where you will go to sign up for this free class. He will send you all the information as well as the links and details. You can join the class live as it's broadcast live, and it's recorded, so you can always come back later to get to that. So just, no matter when you're hearing me say this, no matter what time of day or year it is, jump in. You can sign up now, even right now, and get all that value. So don't hesitate to do that. And would you also sign up for his free morning call? You can get that at amcall.gilbertstudios.com. And that is a free 15-minute phone call he does every morning that's going to put you in the best mindset of success and really help you boost your day and your productivity as you focus on success principles that will help you move forward in your business. And finally, I want to invite you to my website, safari.com. This is my free video workshop where you can improve a little piece of your website one bite at a time, which improves your business one bite at a time. So I encourage you to check that out at my website, safari.com. Please let me know what questions you have. All the links and details for our show is at AskAWebGeek.com. I want to thank you so much for your time and attention. Please let me know how I can support you. Let me know what questions you have. I want this show to be full of your questions, not just me ranting about some deceptive business practice that I really don't approve of, but instead answering a valuable question that you have that can help you with your business this week. So thank you so much for your time and attention. My name is CJ Gilbert. I'm coming to you live from the Web Cave every week, every Wednesday, every website Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, to share with you important information that's going to help your business avoid those traps. Today we talked about one of the traps, one of the pitfalls that you didn't even see coming, but you could have stepped in it and down you fell, and who knows what would have happened after that. But you're going to avoid that trap because we're together on this call, and you're a smart person always looking for ways to improve yourself and your business. So I want to congratulate you. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for your time and attention. Thank you for investing in yourself to make your business the best it can be and to make yourself as best as you can be. Please let me know how I can support you. I'm here to help you. Come to our website, AskAWebGeek.com, to join our Facebook group, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on one of the podcast channels if you would please, follow me on Twitter, and ask any questions in any of the places that's convenient for you to do so. My name's CJ Gilbert. I'm coming to you live from the Web Cave every week, and I want to invite you, ask me your questions. We're here to help you. We're here to support you. At Gilbert Studios, we understand the internet is a jungle. It's too easy to get lost, fall down a hidden trap, go down a pathway, and end up someplace you did not want to go. And instead, you want to hire a well-trained guide, join up with a tribe of people that can lead you through and get you where you want to go. I wish you the very best week. Avoid this kind of a trap. Let me know how I can help you in this upcoming week. And I want to thank you for your time and attention. Wish you the best week ever. My name is CJ Gilbert. You've been joining us for Ask a Web Geek. Have a great week. And we'll see you next week in the Web Jungle. The internet's a jungle. Roar. Let me be your guide. Right, Garrison? You know it.